Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're today with the Bradco brand of tree shear. This particular tree shear is designed to be able to just simply shear a tree up to 10 inches in diameter. Now, after I've sold several of these, so finally we're selling enough of them to start stocking them. And now after being able to physically inspect it myself, I've noticed a lot of differences between what I've seen advertised at less price or more, and even have more capacity, like a 14 inches. And I've done a little research on what and why that different things work better than others. For instance, not all tree shears are created equal. They've done a lot of research and spent a lot of money doing what it takes to get this to be right all the time. If you'll see this Allen screw right here, behind this is a pretty complicated system to be able, so when you close these jaws, that they're dead even and they're tight. In other words, on some of the cheaper ones that I've just finished looking at on the internet, those cutting edges are welded in there. And so if something moves, stretches, gets out of place, that's simply what you're gonna have to deal with from now on, unless you're gonna break out the torch, cut them off and start over. And then the same problem after using a lot is gonna reoccur. So if you're doing small trees, you need those edges to be where they're all the way together and they fit tight from the front to the back. So there's wedges where you're able to straighten these cutting edges to where you're always getting a clean cut all the way through for the whole length of the bar. Now, even though this is rated for 10 inches, right now it's 16 inches apart on the end, and you can get 10 inches deep and still be 10 inches wide. So that's where it's meant to cut the 10-inch tree. I think you could fake it a little bit and get a little bigger, but it's rated for 10, so that's what we're gonna say. I think since you can get the jaws where they touch completely together, and there's even 2 different angles that are cut on this to give it the proper cut. So there's been a lot of technology, a lot of engineering that's gone into this tree shear. That's why it's not the cheapest tree shear on the market, but for long-term use, industrial use, I believe you would end up being the happiest with this piece of machine. As you shear your tree, you've got a guard here so you can keep a little pressure and keep the tree away from your machine. Now, this is rated to do a 10-inch tree for 3,000 PSI. So, and if you have an older machine, you may only have a 2,500 PSI machine, probably will have no problem doing softwoods up to 10 inches, but hardwoods you may get into a little trouble if you've got an older machine at a lower pressure. The new Bobcat that we're using here, which is a T650, I just looked at the specs on it, and it's an operating pressure of 3,500 PSI. So with this huge diameter cylinder, which is what lets the torque build up to be able to shear these trees, with the 3,000 PSI, the cylinder being so big, which is gonna make that move slow, but have more power. So after looking at everything on here in person, it is really a well-engineered piece. Now, Peanut and I are going out to make some videos with this in the next day or two, and we'd like to have used it first, and so we would know even more, but we want to show it to you before we use it and scratch it up and all that good stuff. So with everything having greasable pins, a huge cylinder, and all the work that they've done to be able, and I think the most important thing of a tree shear now after looking at it is being able to get those blades where they're totally straight and they touch all the time, so you get a clean shear whether you're doing a 2-inch tree or a 10-inch tree. So if you've got any questions, just give us a call or an email at Everything Attachments, where you'll get our how to use this video soon. Anything that I don't know yet, we hope to cover in that video. But we've got a lot of trees at my house that need to go, so we'll be over there doing them. Just give us a call or an email, and we'll make sure that your machine has the right pressures and so forth to be able to operate this.